Guru Nation, it's so nice to have these two gentlemen on. For once, it's not on After Dark. So, we mess around a lot. We'll still mess around on this one, but this is more serious. And we got an actual question from LinkedIn from someone that will remain anonymous. But I thought, who better than Robert Goldman to get on and answer this? But also have Chris on here for some color commentary and to promote Save Our Sites when? March. What hotel? Omni, right? All three of us will be there. Here's the question, right?
All right.
Huge fan here. Love the work. I've done business development for a little over 2 years now and still very much a newbie in this industry after transitioning from years of pharma sales. So that gives you some background about this person. About 2 years ago, I discovered you and it was like a breath of fresh air. I've bought and read your book. Thank you very much. Watched all the videos, along with applying that knowledge to my day to day as BD. I am now coming to you in hopes you could give me any additional guidance or advice for an upcoming final face to face interview, right? In the era where people are talking about layoffs, there are people out there getting interviews. That's a sidebar. This will be in front of a panel, and they would like me to prepare a presentation on how you would sell CROs, how you would sell a CRO's experience in a rare disease like muscular dystrophy to a sponsor. This presentation should be no longer than 10 minutes and no more than 4 slides. The golden question I have for you is what criteria would you utilize for this pitch that you know would be important and most compelling for a sponsor? I thought, Robert, this was right up your alley, man.
Well, I appreciate that, Dan, but this is it's a complex answer, to what seems to be a simple thing. But let's break it down. Maybe
Yeah,
like four bullet points because
let's
he
get
doesn't
this
have a
person
lot of time.
hired.
Let's
So,
get him hired.
so I understand the question correctly. They want to know how to pitch sponsors about a CRO.
Yeah, they're
Essentially,
gonna
right.
have a
And
final face-to-face interview on a panel with from a CRO for biz dev, and they're saying, "Hey, we have a muscular dystrophy study. Sell it to sponsors."
And they want a
guys,
pitch deck that's summarized in basically 4 PDFs.
Four
four
slides, 10
four
minutes,
slides.
10-minute
Simple.
pitch.
Here we go. Ready? One slide on your value proposition that sets you apart from every other CRO, whether that's tech, whether that's therapeutic expertise, whether that's internal strengths, whatever that is, you have to have a value proposition that sets your organization apart from all the competitors out there.
So
That's one.
let me give you an example. Let's suppose we know going in they're only looking for CRA work, right? They're not a
Well,
full
Chris, now we're
service.
talking FSP and FSO, so that wasn't defined in his
Sure, I
question.
understand. I
I'm
understand
assuming
it's full service, right? But
right.
let's just say it's CRA work, just for an example,
Hmm.
hypothetical. So
Sure.
I should say something about the experience of my CRAs, as well as we charge 20% less than the larger competition, something like that. Give me an
And
example.
Chris, here's the deal. It depends on the size of the CRO, obviously, right?
Okay.
And when you tell me about all the experience of your CRAs and you tell me that it's 20% cheaper than on my nearest competitor, that's lip service to me as a purchaser. Okay.
Okay.
I need to see actionable insights in terms of put CVs in front of me, put in the contract that I'm going to have these particular resources that you're dangling in front of me assigned to my project. And if these resources should happen to attrition or leave prior to the commencement of my project, there's going to be a penalty associated with this. Guys, I just got back from Scope, no secret, right? I was a panelist there, and one of the biggest takeaway things that everybody was talking about was risk share. We as like, and again, I'm talking rare disease. You're gonna most likely be with a smaller sponsor, a
Yep.
smaller biotech, that's gonna partner with probably a smaller organization, most likely if they know what they're doing. It'd be really silly to go to one of the big guys, right? You're not going to get that white glove service that you would expect. Not that you would even at a small one. I mean, it's very up in the air, right? Obviously, we have our opinions here. But what I'm saying is I would implement some sort of risk share to ensure that I'm receiving, Chris, to your point, the resources that I expect to receive. And if I don't, then there's going to be a penalty associated with that because too many times your audience will agree, I hope. And if they don't, comment below. that during bid defense meetings, I'm promised the world and I'm
Mhm.
not given what,
Of course.
what is shown in front of me.
Of
And
course. But
guys, look, there's a lot of,
let's get this person hired. She's
all right,
like
well, Chris,
February
that's Chris.
24th.
Chris derailed us,
Yeah,
Dan.
Yeah, well,
Chris,
I was
thank you for
curious.
derailing, man. Listen, be curious, but this person, she has to get this job. Okay, so number one, focus on the CRO's value prop, says
Right.
Robert,
Whether
right?
that might be like, some data analytics tool that you have some AI leveraged tech that does signal detection or safety trend detection or efficacy to detection or
Okay.
SAE monitoring better than anybody
So
else
you're
does
saying
it. Like
every CRO has some kind of value prop.
differentiator. There has to be
Okay.
a differentiator for that particular CRO. Figure out what that is, leverage it, sell it. That's
That's number
one.
one. Okay. Number
Number
two,
two, understand your internal strengths, what you can do great inside your organization, and what needs to be done externally, right? You have to understand that. If you're a CRO who expects or thinks that you have all the answers to everything, the likelihood of that is probably nil. So does that mean I have to do it fractional resourcing? I need to bring in an expert consultant. I need to lean on this or that. Or maybe I collaborate really close with the sponsor and say, hey, listen, we understand that you have great expertise in muscular dystrophy, so we want to understand what your capabilities are internally so that we can be competitively
for this
priced
person, you're talking
for
about
this
this
person. I'm talking
female.
for this
Okay.
case right here, right? This is, I mean, guys, if as a sponsor, if I'm hearing these types of things from a potential CRO and they're not pitching me an FSO model and they're like, look, we can help here, we can help there, but you have the most expertise in muscular dystrophy in certain areas. And why would we give you a medical monitor who's a cardiovascular surgeon, right? By training just to monitor safety in labs when you guys have actual, specialists in this field. So what I'm saying is in a roundabout way is understand your internal and external strengths and how you can leverage that as a proposition value further to selling and closing the deal. Because look, to Chris's point, FSP and FSO, you know, it could fit, and some sponsors may just automatically think, well, I need an FSO model because I don't have the
Right.
infrastructure or SOPs or work instructions. But if you're really looking from a ground up partner and you're trying to create some relationship, there's a lot of room for these types of out of the box thinking. So the number
We're
two thing is here, look at your internal strengths and external strengths and figure out who you need to pull in so that you have synergies.
we're gonna get to Chris's macro and micro stuff right now, but let's finish the last 2 points now. Two more things. She's got two slides done. So far, so good. I wouldn't, I personally wouldn't recommend she go out and say, put like skin in the game on the Sierra. That might get her fired before
I
she gets
would.
the job.
Dan, I
Really?
disagree completely. I
Okay,
disagree
okay.
100%.
What would you
100%.
do, Chris? You're the
These
tiebreaker.
these CROs need to start thinking outside the box. If you want to win business, you've got to put skin in the game.
Yeah.
Incentives are misaligned time and time again.
But if you're this
And
person, you would do this too?
yes, I
Yeah.
would go out. Yeah,
Okay.
how do you differentiate yourself from all the other candidates, right?
Mhm.
Hey, if we're so confident in our abilities to deliver A, B, and C, why not put skin in the game? What are you afraid of?
Chris, what do you think? You're the tiebreaker, man.
Well, so back to the first slide, I just don't think there is a differentiator probably for most CROs, especially smaller ones, right?
There
Ooh.
are,
They're not going
Chris.
to have huh?
There are.
There are. So
That
they're
means she
all
would
going to
have
have
to go do
advanced
her
tech.
homework. She would have to go do a deep dive into that CRO and extract what she thinks are the value props and add it to her slides and presentation. And that would show them that she researched them. Okay. All
Well,
right.
so, and maybe this is just because I don't know, and I have no problem saying I don't, but I would just assume most don't have a differentiator in terms of tech, right? Maybe again, maybe I'm wrong.
I'll give you
'Cause I don't
something
know.
rudimentary. I'll give you something rudimentary, and it's not even really rudimentary. Shout out to Creo, right?
Hmm.
Imagine you're a CRO that uses Creo solely, and you're not only using Creo, but you're using their central source template or their DDC model, right? Like let's just say we're a new CRO, and we're only gonna pair with clients who are into our direct data capture. My source is my CRF. That is a differentiator, right? Like this is the new way of doing things, whether you want to jump on the train now or later or let somebody else, but it's like it's time for certain organizations to become those trailblazers and don't wait and for big pharma to do it. Let's do it now. and figure it out down the road. But that's what I'm trying to say, Chris. Like back
Okay,
in the
so it's
day,
a relationship
well,
necessarily, not
relationships.
your own tech.
Well, not your own tech, right? Some type of
Okay.
like some type of tech that you're just
Still
like
a value prop.
you're bringing in. Like I'll give
Yep.
you a really good example back in the day, right? CROs who touted J review and Spotfire, like they were cutting edge, right? Like, oh, well, we use Spotfire. Well, and they only use J review, and Spotfire is so much better than J review for these reasons. And that was for like, patient profiles and medical monitor ease and gives you a better, like this, cozy feeling of safety signals. And we're getting much better safety monitoring, and our patient safety is, the first and foremost. And these are buzzwords sponsors want to hear, of course, because patient safety, there's nothing more important than that. Data comes way after patient safety, right?
Yep.
So these were differentiators, Chris, and they weren't owned proprietarily or built internally. They were just outsourced and purchased, licensed. And similarly, like
Mhm.
organizations who operate in a certain way are going to start winning business, whether that's AI leveraging, whether it's data analytic tech, lock event, clue
Okay.
points,
Well,
illuminate,
Love it.
whatever.
I'm glad we clarified because I
Yeah,
misunderstood your point.
yeah.
Now I don't remember the question Dan
And
asked, but
really,
Well,
and
let's
I'll
get
give you
this
guys
person
let me give you
hired.
one more thing here. Like I met with a guy at Scope, and he was a great guy, Kalen, and he's the CEO and founder of a company called Clin AI. And this is pertinent, Dan, for your RFP candidate here. I mean, sorry, your BD candidate. Because, for example, like let's say I use Clin AI. Clin AI is an RFP tool that allows you as a sponsor to send out many different RFPs to CROs. And if CROs are on the end user also using this platform, it streamlines this process so easily. It positions you to be audit ready, inspection readiness as a sponsor, why I chose this vendor, what comparison metrics I use to make this informed decision. Like, I'm just saying these are differentiators. I just really want to double down on understanding what are differentiators and what CROs use, choose to use, what they don't use really sets them apart from all the competition. So for your candidate who we have to get hired, double downing on these types of things in his or her presentation. I can't. Point is making these things very well known. Let's jump to slide 3.
Slide, thank you. Slide 3.
All right. Slide 3 now is I think it's really siloing out your internal and external strength, right? Not to compare that with who do I have inside like touting team experience, right? We don't have CRAs without less
Mm.
than 10 years of experience. We just don't have them.
Robert's gonna
Every
mess around and get this person hired. This
I'm
girl,
telling
you're
you,
gonna owe Robert an espresso,
listen,
a
whatever we can do.
martini.
No, dude, you don't owe
uh,
me anything. Just get hired. Get
Get
hired. We
hired.
want
Get
we
hired.
want to we want to spread the love.
Yes.
Guys, seriously though, this is what I'm talking about. It's
but
hey,
but wait.
yeah.
So we don't hire CRAs without 10 years experience. You said initially when I just gave the hypothetical on the first slide that was
Mhm.
lip service. So how is this different here?
Well, Chris, it's not lip service. If it's true, how is it lip service? If you can literally show me CVs with act
Okay,
with
so you're saying
people.
it include the CVs?
Sure. Well, I already mentioned that, right? I
Okay.
said, I've already said, like, I want to see CVs. And if you don't give me the people you promise you're going to give me during bid defense, there's something in the MSA that there's a risk share penalty type of a deal
Okay. All
or
right.
whatever,
And
right?
what I love
So,
about this strategy is this person, she can actually go every slide so far. She can research the company, she can research the people there,
mhm,
develop their own CVs based on their LinkedIn profiles, and put all that in the like. This is
yeah,
all
guys,
actionable. I feel
this is
like she's
just,
hired already.
I feel like, look, I mean, and this is just, I mean, and these people who are going to be interviewing her on a panel
Yeah.
may not
CRO
even be,
peeps. These are
may
your
not
kind of
even,
peeps.
I love these peeps, but I'm just saying, like, they may not be thinking, wow, this is actually really, this is brilliant, right?
Uh,
This is a great idea. I mean, again, there's a CRO out there, right? The anti-CRO CRO guys, they didn't just raise a 60 plus $1 million round because they're not doing things differently. They're doing things differently and taking action on making it different,
mm.
right? So this is what this person from a BD perspective needs to do in order to sell their CRO. So let's go to slide 4.
Slide
So
four.
slide
So far, everything was actionable, easy to do at home.
Yeah, slide 3 and then slide 4 is talking about my leadership team, right?
Okay.
Talking about my leadership team, how I'm going to support my client and provide that white glove service, right? You can be, listening and hearing are two different things, right? So I think slide 4 is talking about senior leadership and how the company, aka the sponsor, can be assured that senior leadership is going to be there to remediate any types of issues or problems that they may encompass. And really, I think
I
that's
knew
a
to get Robert on. Mess around and get people hired in an
mess.
economic
We've done it.
downturn.
We've done it. We've done it. So
Wow.
that's it. It's really that simple. And she has 4 slides. Do it. Just
Anonymous
knock on
ma'am,
those. Yeah.
anonymous lady, anonymous young lady, please reach out to us how you're doing afterwards, and we'll do a interview with Robert and Chris. It'll come full circle. I don't think we've ever done that. Yeah,
No.
I've given advice, but like I never had someone else come on give advice before, and then let's follow up with that person and then have them meet the person who is basically responsible for the advice. It's gonna be great.
I hope she gets hired. I
Let's fly
really, I
her out
mean,
to SOS if that happens.
honestly, count on it. Count on it because
Okay.
that would just be cool. But yeah, I mean, guys, look,
Wow.
at the end of the day, it's, it's potato. Everybody seems to, it's just a lot
Well,
of the
no, for this person,
same
it's
old.
paycheck or not paycheck.
Well, it is, but I'm just saying that's why you have to think outside this box and how you're going to attract a purchaser. I mean,
Hmm.
because again, to my earlier point, yeah, a lot of it's just lip service. It's the same old, same old. I'm told what I want to hear. Well, if you're confident in your ability as a CRO, you're
Hmm.
confident in your service offerings, you're confident in your tech, you've vetted your partners and service providers well, you
Yeah.
have nothing to be worried about, and
What
you're
is this
confident in your staff.
panel?
Give me risk share.
What is this? Yeah, Rister. Get what is this panel looking at? How are they testing this person? Like on what? We can go macro, micro here. What are they actually looking for? What?
I I think from an outside perspective, look, at the end of the day, the person has to sell,
Hmm.
right? They've got to be charismatic. You have to be able to sell ice to an Eskimo. I mean, sell ketchup to a person wearing white gloves. I don't know the right analogy here, right? So
Ketchup
at
to
the end of
Ronald
the
McDonald.
yeah, at the end of the day, you got to be able to sell. So if you can sell and translate those skills into differentiators and you understand value, guys, I'm not in sales. I don't I'm just telling you what I would like to hear,
Wait, you're not in
you know?
sales?
Well, I guess to a degree I sell,
Fooled the
maybe
hell out of me. Robert, you just get someone hired, man. Good
I hope
work.
so. I
Good
hope
work.
so, man. I hope so.
Chris,
And
any feedback for this
sure,
person or Robert?
I'm going to add an addendum to what you both have mentioned.
Ah,
So,
protocol amendment.
supposedly I'm not
Is it
on link.
IRB approved?
I'm no, I'm not
Okay.
on LinkedIn a lot, but I'm hearing tales that people are panicked over losing their jobs at the
Oh,
FDA.
beyond
Hmm.
panic, Chris. It's
We too
not
can help you. Let us know your scenario, and maybe we can give a helping hand there.
Yeah.
not
I mean,
all of them
boy.
are. This person's cut. I feel like this person's cut from a different cloth. First of all, they come from private industry, so they're pharmaceutical sales.
Sure.
I know working with a lot of those sales reps, they hustle. Like sales reps hustle hard. Make all the jokes you want about them. They work hard. The good ones are respected by the physicians in the regions that they serve. Some of the stuff on LinkedIn, these are government people, man. Government is good at getting bigger. That's what it's good at,
That's for sure.
right? And I don't
Well,
know if,
it's time to return to the private sector.
yeah, but I don't know if the majority of the ones that are laid off remember what it's like to have to
Yeah,
be.
but you know what, Dan, they have such a leverage because
Hmm.
they've been on the inside, not to say that the inside
Hmm.
is going to continue to operate in the way that they were exposed to it. It's probably going to be different, but they can at least shed light on the intricacies and the different regulatory hurdles and challenges that
Yep.
existed previously. And, I mean, the transferable skill to private industry and working, whether it's NIH or CDC or FDA,
Hmm.
it's a huge token, man.
To,
And
to
organizations want those people.
to Dan's point, though, the one trait they're probably missing, having worked for the government for who knows how many years, is sales. They're going to have a difficult time selling themselves because it's
Selling
not
themselves.
required in government.
For sure. But Chris, I think like, a lot of those probationary people that I've been reading like on LinkedIn, for example, that got let go, like I
Mhm.
have a month left to go. I had 2 months left to go before I hit that 1 year. I mean, that's just like that's really like unfortunate for that to happen.
Sure.
But I agree with you. I mean, they're not that far removed. It's not like
Okay.
they've put in
So
20
they
years.
haven't been
So
out of the scene for a while,
you
for a
got
long
it.
while.
You
Some
got
have,
it.
some haven't. Yeah.
Right. Some have, some haven't. But I mean, yeah, listen, when there's a will, there's a way.
Hmm.
Read books, network, talk to people, go to webinars, go to conferences,
Watch Guru After
and
Dark.
yeah, and get yourself back into the kind of the know,
We
right? I
got to get
mean,
this person on Guru After Dark.
yeah,
Tell us
exactly.
what it's like to
It
be
would
a
be
biz
amazing
dev.
to have some people like from the FDA and NIH that were impacted by this, change and hear from them directly, like understand like what are they worried about entering back into the workforce? Is it the lack of, industry private experience where sales they don't have those skills and Dan, again, I'm not a sales guy. I'm not, I'm an
No, but
operationalist.
you know how to sell
Could have
yourself.
fooled me.
Well, I can sell myself, but I can't really sell a product, I don't think. Maybe. I
Yeah,
haven't
but
really
that's
tried.
different. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
different, right? You have to be able to sell yourself.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, if you do a horrible job just sitting there at an interview, nodding your head, not really answering the questions or answering them inadequately or in a way that's not selling yourself, you're
that's true.
probably not going to prevail.
Right. And you've got to just be like, when I work with people and I've actually closed and purchased products, like if you really look at the common denominator from these people, like they just have an energy about them, a vibe, and you're just like, it's like, I like this person. I
Hmm.
really, not only do I like their product, I like this person, like I
Hmm.
can genuinely say, Chris, I like you. Dan, I like, you're
Sure.
good people. And as a result, whether you have your products and you're helping sites and you have your network and you have your academies and you have your conferences, like you genuinely want to engage and help in some way or shape or form. And I think that when it comes to sales, you've got to have that. Like I think it's very important. It's not just, the lip service and the buzzwords and just these, token phrases that you expect every BD guy or gal to say to you. It's just being different. Like Dan, you said it, cut from a different cloth. You got to be a little bit different out there and you have to be genuinely passionate about what you're selling. So if this, gal is really interviewing for this CRO, she's got to really understand everything about this CRO, how they operate,
Ins
who they
and
work
outs.
with, ins
Go
and
on your
outs.
own to interview their employees and to
Yeah.
prepare for your panel. She's got like a week to do this.
Yeah, exactly. And
I
kind
mean,
of
I
just
would interview
understand all
like
that.
5, 10 people from the company on LinkedIn. You can get
Easier
them.
said than done, let's be honest, right? I mean, it's good in theory, Dan, right? But
Yeah.
actually getting the attention of somebody, them willing to carve out 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes is challenging. I mean,
Yeah.
look, Dan, when you texted me to do this right now, it's like I had to put something on pause. It's not like I was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
and it's a actual federal holiday today, but we're still up and at
Yeah.
it and working, right?
Unless you're
And,
So
YCT, they get paid day off, man. These we're spoiling the hell out of these employees.
and to,
Thank you,
manicures,
Robert.
pedicures. No, it's my
Yeah,
pleasure, guys.
mani
Listen,
pedi.
anybody we can help.
but
Always
I
a
wanted to
pleasure to
add
be
to
with
your
you.
point, like
Yep,
just a little bit of elaboration. Um, you're not only selling a product, which you should be mindful of and very aware of and understand it, but you're also always selling yourself too,
that's true.
right?
You're right.
How you
People
Absolutely.
do
don't like you.
anything.
It doesn't matter how great you are at
It's
something,
so
right?
true. If you exactly if you come off with like some sense of entitlement, like
Yep.
or I request you to do this or please do
Or
that or
I know it all and I
yeah,
got nothing to learn from you,
right.
right? In the sponsor CRO relationship.
Exactly.
What
And
did Bill
another
Walsh
thing,
say from the Niners? How you do anything is how you do everything.
that's
All the
right.
little things matter.
And if
Mhm.
you don't know the answer, you know what, that's a great point. Let me go back and I'll come back to you with that answer. Don't just make something up that you don't know the
Yep.
answer to,
Yep.
right? Or
Yep.
you know what, let me see if I can get that or make your wish happen. For example, if I want risk share, we haven't really explored that, but we're so interested in what kind of work you're doing. Let me go back internally and talk to my
Hmm.
team and
And see if we
let
can
me
make
see
this
how we can
happen.
let's see how we can make it happen. We want to earn your business. We want to
Yep.
earn it. Earn
Yep.
it.
Yep.
You're not entitled to it. You got to earn it.
Yep. People have
Preach.
to like you.
They gotta like you. They
Getting
gotta
people
like you.
hired since 2025. Robert Goldman. A lot
No, what
longer
do you
than
mean?
that.
We've been getting people. I mean, I just heard from Kellen the other day, Dan. He's killing
Oh,
it.
that's right.
Kellen Battles,
Wow.
he's killing it.
He's
He's
killing it.
moving up. Oh man, he was at
Okay.
UCS. Now he's at
We got to
one of
get
the.
him on.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
He's another great success story.
We got to do
So
another After Dark soon.
very soon, guys. Well,
Maybe we'll
listen,
do
I
one in
gotta
person
run,
at SOS. Go do your thing, Robert.
and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks at SOS. And
No.
listen,
You'll see me sooner. We got a Zoom meeting.
that's right. You're absolutely right.
Ah,
Next
panel
week,
prep. That's right.
panel
Yep.
prep. That is right.
Okay. Mine is
Yep.
done. Done.
Well, listen, I
Well,
always
mine
love seeing
would
you
be
guys.
done, but nobody can do it at the same time.
That's true. I was part of that bottleneck. I apologize, Chris. I'll make it up to you.
It happens. It happens. I don't
I'll
need any
make it
more
up to you.
tequila. I don't need any more
You
tequila.
you don't? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Robert. We appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Chris.
Have
Have
Like,
a
a
good
good
one,
subscribe,
one.
Robert.
comment, share. Go follow Robert and Chris. Bye bye.